Well, hello again, and I'm John, and I'm back with Journeys of the Spirit, and this time the German poet Rainer Maria Rilke, who was born in Prague. And this is a magical journey through Prague, looking at it through Rilke's eyes. Now, you might think that Rilke is an unusual choice, as a German poet. He's not quite so well known in the English language, but in fact he's one of the most famous German poets. And so imagine a young student learning German and, of course, reading Rilke's lyrical, mystical and spiritual poetry, who visited Prague, that was Rilke's birthplace, just before the Prague Spring of 1968, and then later to Ronda in Spain, in the same poet's footsteps, as he often stayed there. And then finally, much more recently, back to Prague to follow his young student days and, of course, to revisit Rilke's haunts and his wonderful, simple, evocative early poems about Prague that he must have loved too. And these spiritual journeys are, of course, quite personal. And so this young student was, of course, myself. Okay, so on we go through Prague and Rilke. And these are poems from Rilke's Opfer. And here's a picture of the roofs of Prague and what Rilke said. From here the roofs of Prague impress, both acorn-shaped and pointed like thin pears. The city has its faces and its airs as evening nestles with caress. And this is famous St. Vitus Cathedral and Prague Castle. I gaze upon that brow sublime, the castle weather-tried and old. The eyes of every child already climb the summit bold. And in the Marlastrana, the lesser town, old houses with steep gables, high the towers full of ringing bells. Alone a timid piece of sky flirts now in narrow courtyard cells. And a beautiful St. Vitus. I often stand before the old cathedral, breathe the musty air and listen to the discourse rare that all the windows, columns hold. And inside the cathedral ceiling sparkles, walls around it wearing gems and ores. In the shadows, brown, a saint adores behind the glimmer of dim candles. And in the chapel of Wenceslaus, light dances in the hall, a miracle of magic glare. Beneath a golden shrine so rare repose the bones of Wenceslaus. In the evening, the city blurs, as if behind a glass. Alone, in helmet verdigris, a virtual Hun stands tall before me. There, the lofty dome St. Nicholas. and at the Loreto Monastery. Silent are the cloister's old arcades, the ceiling full of fading frescoes, whence mysterious saints look down on us beneath the fancy column arabesques. And at the Loreto Monastery, behind the grey glass of the tabernacle, sparkles in her silver-spangled silken dress a wax Madonna, who is said dispenses grace and heals through holy miracle. And the old clock, cherished clock upon our city hall, you would have ceased to ring the hour if they had stripped your iron from the tower and ripped your very memory from the wall. In St. Mary's Church, Prague's sable body stretches wide. My eye sees far the towers of St. Mary shine, as violet inks are suctioned by the shrine through its twin spires that pierce the sky. And on the Charles Bridge, the great and lesser saints are honoured by the multitude in robust stone and noble wood, the great and lesser saints. At Charles University. Year in, year out, I drudge to see the day I reach my aspiration. Here at last I am at destination, student at the university. Well, here is the church where Rilke was baptized, and hope you've enjoyed the journeys of the Spirit today, and we'll see you again. And a very fascinating and special journey, of course, for myself. Bye now.